I was the first president. I served as a commissioner for almost 7 years. That was in 1972 to 1979. Our first budget was $250. We ran for a year on $250. Then we levied, and we made some promises when we levied. We made promises that the tax rate would never go over 50 cents per hundred, and it never has. We also, at that particular point in time, we felt that it was necessary to start purchasing land. And for the next 7 years, we purchased land. We purchased the pond out on Washington Street. We made a deal with the city in terms of leasing Reed Kepler Park. We purchased Manville Oaks, as it was called then, and we purchased Pioneer Park. And now that we have all this land purchased and we see ourselves in a position that now we should start developing this land. Development means that it's going to cost some money. But it's now time to start developing all these facilities that we have husbanded. It's time to think about, we want to have more ball fields, we want to have more athletic fields, we want to have places where people can come in the wintertime and enjoy themselves in athletic events, have a place where the community as a whole can meet rather than trying to have it at the Legion, which will hold 120. We need places where people can come, congregate, have meetings, come, congregate, have athletic events, and this is obviously going to cost some money. But we've already invested millions of dollars in our land purchases. Now is the time to develop those. And we want to develop it with a community center. We want to develop it with certain athletic fields. The money that we've already spent, if we don't do anything, is money that's sort of wasted. So to move on and to have a vision of where we're going to go in the future is really a very important idea. When we started, we knew where we were going to go. We knew what we had to do. We had a park district. We had nothing. Now we have a park district and we have land, which fortunately we bought when it was still cheap. Now the idea is, let's develop it. Let's put it to use. Our town has grown double in size since our park district formed. And we really haven't done that much in terms of dealing with the types of amenities that are necessary for everybody to use it. I look at a recreation center, it's not the panacea for all people, but it's going to be available to all people. It's going to be able to have activities that we can't have today. That's how I look at that. I look at that, well, you're going to have a gym in there. Sure, we're going to have a gym. But the only gyms we have are at the junior high and at the high school, or middle school at the high school. We don't have a gym where we can have pickup basketball because you can't get into those buildings. They're being used by the school. We have a beautiful swimming pool now. We need something really to augment it in the wintertime or in the fall seasons. I've got grandchildren that live in town here. One's going to be, I hope, a cheerleader, and another one is just getting ready to graduate from college. And those kids and their kids will have someplace to use. Right today is not the time to look. The time to look is 10 years down the line. What's our town going to be look like in 10 years? Is it going to gain another 14,000 people? We've got plenty of space. You build not for today. If you build for today, the day they put the last door on, it's too small. The greatest value that a recreation facility brings to West Chicago is it gives us a place so that we can have not only recreation, but we also can have places where people can meet. That's going to be the greatest thing, because we don't have it. We don't have it today. The library's got a room that holds 50 people. The American Legion and the VFW are limited in terms of when you can use them. You can't use them on Fridays, you can't use them on weekends, things like that. So I think it opens up a vista that we can take many people and do many things in a certain spot. And there'll be parking and there'll be all the other amenities that are necessary. You won't have to hope you get a space behind a Legion, or you won't get a space on Main Street. So those are the things that I think are important, especially for seniors. Obviously, any new building is going to be built so that there will be amenities for those people. I've been in city politics for almost 25 years, and I see some of the things I did as an alderman back in the 80s are just now starting to take form. And that's been a long time. Atlantic Drive is one of those things. So plan now for the future. May not be here for the future, but I hope I am. Yeah. But I think our future is all those little kids that are running around my street.